Hey guys, Chris, Ironhead Garage. Well, I finally got that master cylinder in there. Slide underneath this pig. There she is. I got the pedal going up to the forward pan, so that's cool. So here I pulled this brake line out. Went from the master cylinder, goes around here on this side and over to that T. That's a 1/4 inch line. That one's 3/16 to the back and 3/16 to the front. So I built that line. With my my old school flaring tool here. My other little flaring tool only does 3/16, so I did a couple of test flares, and they're coming out pretty good. You just got to have the height right in there coming up through. Make sure this stays level on there, and make sure you put a little bit of grease on the dies, and they come out pretty good. There's another one I was messing around with, running some test flares. So I'm pretty confident that it's going to work good. So there's the line. That's that old one below it. And this is the new one on top. I just used it to mock up my new one. I need a little bit of adjustment, I'm sure, when I'm under there to get it to tighten up. But that's cool. Oh, if you guys remember Bones, check him out. Yeah, I got his ass over here standing a little bit. He's pretty cool. He don't say much. What do you say, Bones? Check out his hat. Yeah, he's pretty cool. Took him down to the parking lot with me the other day. Guys got a kick out of him. A bunch of people were asking. Last night I went down there and, where's Bones? I said, he was talking too much smack, telling me I didn't know how to drive the car, that he could drive the car way better. You know, he's the original owner of it and everything, but yeah, he's pretty funny. Alright guys, let me get that line on there and maybe put this thing down in the ass end. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, well I got that brake line installed. There's that T. Now replace that line that goes up to the passenger side. But I got it all tight there. It goes around, goes in the little clamps. Another clamp over here. Goes around and into the master cylinder. And that's the other one I'm going to replace here that goes to the driver's front wheel. So that's cool. Got that installed. Roll out from under here. Bones, what are you doing? Don't sand that glass. Guess he thinks the back of the cab needs a little bit of sanding too. Damn guy. Anyway, I got my shifter boot for the shifter. So I just gotta, it's just big enough. The other one was like 9 inches. It would have been way out here, but I gotta squash this down and scribe some holes and screw her down. I got the shifter off so I can get the boot on. So that's gonna look much better. I got the drive line outside drying. So I've been looking at steering wheels. I need to find me a different wheel. Someone called it a go-kart wheel. Yeah, it kind of is. I think I used to have one like that on my go-kart. I think it's, I'll see how big it is. Got a tape measure here. It's about 11.5 inches. Yeah, I've been looking at, I wanted one that's like 14 inches. Or an original steering wheel would be cool, but guys want a couple $100 for those. So, we'll see what we can find. Alright, I'm going to get that boot done. So I got the shifter boot all screwed down. Fits just right. Not too big, not too small. Got the handle back on. Shifts good. So that's killer. One thing done. Got a rubber pad for my brake pedal. So I'll put some super weather strip adhesive on here. So if someone cuts in front of you, you just gotta jam on the brakes. That pad don't slide off. Don't want that to happen in the old truck. So I'll get that on there. Been working on the engine a little bit. Got the distributor cap off. Would like to paint all this. I might, maybe not before winter, but I got the new bushing where the throttle comes through the firewall. It was actually gone. Put a bronze bushing in here, tighten it up. I need to weld a washer on the inside of this rod, and I got another bronze bushing in there, but it works nice and smooth now. It was kind of pretty sloppy. So I got a new cap to go on there. The cap wasn't bad, but I got a brand new one. The rotor looks brand new still. The wires, yeah, they're kind of ugly, but I don't know. When's the last time you seen that? It actually has a number. What's the number of that say? Number 4. I guess you can buy that little kit so you don't mess them up, but we'll get that on there. I got a new fuel line down there coming off the main fuel line. I'm gonna hook that up to the pump. I might start it on a jerry can and get it to run good. Got a new fuel line coming off the fuel pump line, the steel line. Got one coming off the carburetor. Don't want to mess around with no old fuel lines or brake lines. And I'll put a filter there. Got one on the toolbox over there. I didn't put a filter where it comes out of the bottom of the cab to the main fuel line. I figured it's a brand new tank. There ain't going to be no crud coming out of it. So I'll have the filter there. Got the drive line all painted up. Just painted it like a flat black, what I had. Got the yoke nice and smooth with some 2500 sandpaper. I did change the U-joint. I had a 1330 U-joint and it was brand new. It's been sitting around a little while, but it was still new. My buddy gave it to me. So I went ahead and changed that because I had it. And that conversion U-joint, whoa, spin you around. That was in the tail shaft of the drive line where it goes to the rear end. This guy here, it spun smooth, but I felt a little bit of grittiness, and I took one of these caps off, and 4 of the little needle bearings were shorter than the other ones, and one looked like it was twisted and pinched. So I think when they originally put this U-joint in there, it must have fell over and they hammered the end of it or something. So I got a new conversion U-joint. Matches there, 1310. I believe it's a 1330, 1.125". I believe these are 1.1/16 or just over 1.1/16. So I need the right rear U-joint on that for 55 GMC and keep that box. So I'll get that U-joint in there and maybe get the drive line in. See what else I can do. Alright guys, I'll be back. Jamming on the old truck. Hopefully to be driving it before the snow flies. We'll see. Sure would be fun. Nostalgia drags on. Well, I got that drive line in with the new U-joint. So that's killer. I just got to tighten them up when I put the wheels on. Probably could put it in park and crank them tight. Got bones sanding back there still. I'd like to thank you guys for watching my drive video to the car show the other day. That was pretty awesome. It was cold and windy, man. Winter's coming. But me and my buddy Jay cruised there. And it was pretty fun. He always gives me shit about, I tell him I'm working on my 55. Which one? Yeah, he's a smart ass, but he's a good friend. But anyway, I pulled the plugs on this thing. They look like brand new. I wire brushed them up. No sud on them. They weren't burning hot. Looks like they were burning good. I pulled the distributor cap off and blew it all out, and it looked like almost brand new, like somebody did a tune-up on it. These wires are kind of cruddy looking, but they're or the auto light wires, and they seem to be pretty good, and I might clean them up. But I took the carburetor off, cleaned it all out. I was afraid it had ethanol fuel in there and gummed all up. I've had that trouble before. The bowls turn all green gooey in there, but it was clean. Got it all back together. The gaskets were good. The kickdown cable had a big kink here. It wouldn't go back. You always want a little bit of free play on your kickdown cable. I welded a washer on my throttle rod here and put a bronze bushing on there, so that's all nice and tight. Drilled another hole for another spring. It's always better to run 2 springs. You ever break a spring, man, that thing will pin on you. But the throttle works good now. Kickdown cable pulls and engages, and then has a little bit of slop. So that's killer. Now I'm getting it. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do next. I need to put them wheels back on it. The ass end brake lines are all done. I need to do these front brake lines and do them wheel cylinders. I got some oil for it. Got an oil filter. Gotta get some antifreeze, but it's getting closer. So I appreciate you guys watching that drive video. That was pretty awesome. But the old GMC is coming along. Just got to keep jamming on it. Hopefully the snow don't fly. Alright guys, I appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time. Take care.